Drake, Spotify, bots, and a lawsuit claiming billions of fake streams. But this story isn't just about fraud. It's about power, influence, and a music empire built over a decade, now under the microscope. And it all connects to his feud with Kendrick Lamar, old controversies, and a system that might not be as real as it looks. In 2025, Spotify was sued by rapper RBX, who claims that an enormous portion of Drake's streams, billions, came from bots and fake accounts.
One of my friends sent me a video the other day, and it was just like all the top numbers from the last 10 years, and that was pretty crazy because it was like for the whole last 2 minutes, I was just sitting up there, you know.
No one is accusing Drake personally, but his numbers, his dominance, his crown are now the centerpiece of one of the biggest streaming lawsuits ever filed.
The labels are spending money, you know, devil's advocate, they're treating it like a marketing expense. You're gonna spend real money to get fake streams that equate to real money.
All right, we in a major industry, and that industry is ran by a machine.
To understand why Drake's name hits so hard, we need to go back, because long before anyone mentioned bots, Drake was rewriting the rules. He didn't just dominate the charts, he was the charts. Year after year, record after record, Drake became the algorithm's favorite son, playlisted everywhere, streaming non-stop, eclipsing entire genres. And fans loved it, but critics whispered, can anyone really be this dominant?
If I'm relying on my song that I worked hard on and you got 30 stream farms working 23 hours out of a day, that ain't fair at all.
Years before the lawsuit, fans began noticing strange patterns, abrupt overnight streaming jumps, weak promo but chart-topping numbers, and Spotify records falling like dominoes, sometimes within hours of release. Nothing was ever proven, but the suspicions never fully disappeared. Then came Kendrick Lamar, first with Like That, a verse that shook the culture and shattered the idea of Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole being a big three. But the real explosion came later, Not Like Us. A Compton anthem, a cultural earthquake, a diss track so massive, it didn't just end the feud, it rewired the entire conversation around Drake's image. And for the first time in a decade, Drake wasn't controlling the narrative. The culture was turning against him. And suddenly, every old suspicion, every chart question, every streaming mystery came back louder than ever. And now, the lawsuit. RBX claims that Drake's music received billions of fraudulent streams, coming from VPN farms, bot networks, suspicious accounts streaming 23 hours a day. One example cited, 250,000 plays in just 4 days from accounts hiding behind VPNs in Turkey, yet logged as UK streams.
Basically saying like Drake has all these billions of streams across Spotify, but approximately 37 billion streams were inauthentic and appeared to be the work of a network of bot accounts is what they're alleging.
Spotify says they fight streaming fraud. The lawsuit says they let billions slip through.
We're catching tons of artificial streams every month. You know, it's through all the obvious ways and all the new ways people try to find. Our team finds it. Every time we kind of detect an artificial stream, we're not paying out royalties for it. We're removing it from public metrics, so monthly listener count, all-time track stream count. It's not counting towards charts.
But here's the part nobody saw coming, because exactly 1 year earlier, in November 2024, Drake himself sued Spotify and Universal Music Group, not for boosting him, but for boosting Kendrick Lamar. Drake's lawsuit claimed that UMG and Spotify artificially inflated the numbers of Kendrick's hit, Not Like Us, using bot-driven streaming and a quiet pay-for-play deal involving lower licensing fees in exchange for algorithmic visibility.
The reason why he's suing, I believe, is because it's the narrative of him being a pedophile. It's like, come on, my nigga, y'all gonna let this dude call me a pedophile? I've never been accused, arrested, tried, or convicted. Y'all allowed this to be on major platform because the suit is about that narrative being able to live and be pushed.
UMG denied the allegations, calling them offensive and untrue. And in October 2025, a federal judge in New York tossed out Drake's lawsuit. The court ruled the lyrics were non-actionable opinion, not defamatory, and dismissed the case. But now, the tables turn. In 2024, Drake said bots were used against him. In 2025, RBX says bots were used for him. And somewhere in between, the truth about streaming hides in the shadows. And that truth is starting to surface across the entire industry.
Diamond Records and can't sell 1,000 seats. I believe that a lot of these kids' sales need to be adjusted, and I believe a lot of them should lose millions of streams.
I mean, I've sat in label meetings with people from labels who manage huge rappers who told me, we got that guy's career off the ground by buying a shitload of plays on that song.
They're doing it to people who really can get $500 million, but let's just pump it to get 900.
Now you're getting number one.
At the beginning of 2025, Kendrick Lamar and SZA hit Luther had 235 million streams removed by Spotify after the company flagged them as bot-generated. The track had exploded after their Super Bowl performance, soaring past 500 million streams, until Spotify's fraud detection team slashed it down to 282 million almost overnight.
But at the end of the day, I don't know how Kendrick numbers is up there like this.
Numbers don't lie, homie.
Streaming numbers do lie.
Numbers, no, they don't.
I know people got 30 million monthly listeners. Ain't selling that.
Let me tell you why those didn't lie.
Somebody say he got 100
million
First rapper
listeners.
to hit that. I don't believe that shit.
I'm saying now we talk about numbers and all that. This is a big secret been going on for years. How people been manipulating the game. Ain't nobody came and say, "Shorty." I just seen a little dude in Candyland in my club. He said, "I do the Billboard stuff." Shorty, I said, "Bill, what's that?" I do the Billboard. He said, "The artist name I ain't even gonna say." He said he tried to show me a page. So I say, "Shit." Hey, Shawty, if this what you do? But when he showed me, I did see some stuff, and then it popped up a couple weeks later, so I probably need to find Lil Buddy.
Bots are a real problem, and artists, not just Drake, are feeling the heat. If Kendrick's streams can be gutted by nearly 500 million plays, then no one's numbers are safe, and it becomes even harder to know what's real and what's artificially pushed into the spotlight.
Today's world, everybody's using a streaming phone. Streaming phone, man, is a bunch of different cell phones that sign up to Spotify. They play your record over and over again. You get streams, you get paid. These streaming farms help you start the process, and their tactic is turning into legitimate money.
Bots will be programmed to follow artists, save songs, put songs on playlists, and to listen to songs to increase the amount of plays of their music or their exposure or the perceived popularity. And there's no clear law that outlaws that.
So why is Drake's name everywhere in this case? Easy, because he's the biggest. Drake is the gravitational center of Spotify. If someone inflates his numbers, even artificially, it shakes the entire payout system. Fake streams don't just boost one artist. They steal from everyone else. The bigger the artist, the bigger the damage.
2/3 of all music revenue from streaming services goes back to rights holders, and if we pay out money for any fake streams, that's money that would have gone to a legit artist who's like building an actual fan base who we want to reward. So that's why we take it so seriously. Any money that goes to people who are buying streams, illegally, that's money that should be going to artists who are doing it the right way.
And now we reach the real question. Drake spent 15 years building one of the greatest careers in music history. But if the system itself is corrupted, if bots, algorithms, playlist manipulation, and digital loopholes can shape success, then what does dominance truly mean? Is it talent, strategy, luck, or the machine behind the curtain?
I can't even believe album sales anymore. That's why I said I restored hurdling, the reward worshiping, the points are fabricated, they be scoreboard purchasing. I restored the feeling of like, yo, we're not worshiping the rewards. Fuck the rewards, you feel me? Play for the love of the game, and why you can't even play for the points is because they bought the scoreboard. They're fabricating it anyway. I don't believe these streams anyway because the shit doesn't add up.
The truth is, this isn't about Drake. It's about an industry built on numbers. Numbers that can be hacked. Numbers that control everything, from celebrity to discovery to artist survival. Every fake stream is a blow to smaller artists struggling to survive. Every artificial boost reshapes what fans believe is popular. The lawsuit might fail, it might succeed, but it exposed something much bigger. If the biggest artist in the world can be tied to suspicious streaming behavior, what else is happening behind the scenes? Stay curious, stay questioning, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories, players, and culture-shaping music today.